In the busy world of today, art and music can be an escape for the mind. The Art Gallery of New South Wales will welcome En Coda Symphony Orchestra for the Sydney premiere of a world-first therapeutic sound experience. Composed and written by creative director Tenille Bentley in collaboration with music director Mark Coughlin and orchestral composer Stuart James, this unique musical and meditative journey will guide you through a performance designed to elevate the senses and alleviate stress. This one-night-only concert will be held in the stunning space of the Art Gallery of New South Wales North Building on the 22nd of October. Creative Director Tenille Bentley joins me now. Morning, Tenille. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to have a chat with us today. I'm a firm believer that music is definitely a tool to rejuvenate and relax. It's also capable of doing the opposite, to hype you up and get the blood pumping. What inspired you to come up with this idea for the En Coda Symphony Orchestra?
Yeah, well, over the years, my musical work has, it's gone to the global stages, and what I've seen is a profound impact that it's had on my audiences. So it seemed for me a natural progression to kind of quantify the efficacy of the work. And so what I've done is sort of combine my personal passion for neuroscience with the arts, and created sort of a synergy between projects. And so over probably a good span of about a decade, I've been working in providing music as a therapeutic tool for people, and for many, many years. And a friend of mine suggested that I combine this with an orchestra, and that sort of sparked what would be a tireless yet yet rewarding evolution of this creation. So it's sort of leading me to a place that I found the circumstance to be much larger than myself. So, yeah.
And you're working with sort of not just orchestral composers and music directors and musicians, but also sound therapists.
Yeah, so I'm a sound therapist myself, and that's the work that I actually do. And so I got what I deemed to be two other sound therapists, that the top ones here in WA, and they came together as I had pulled together all the other orchestral, the En Coda Orchestra, and we merged that created this fusion between sort of sound therapy, or other people call it sound healing, using ancient instruments that are typically used to help people reach a state of deep relaxation. But what's specifically interesting with what we do is that we've all seen the qualitative results that we've witnessed over the years that are quite profound. And so we're now also undertaking a research project with the University of Western Australia and Murdoch University, where we're actually going to place this in a more clinical setting to quantify the physiological and psychological effects of presenting this music in different frequencies. So all of our work is in the tuning center of 432 hertz, which is unusual. Most of the music, everything we listen to, is 440 hertz, which is 440 cycles of the sound wave per second. So, yeah.
Okay, then. And so what are the instruments that one would use for sound therapy and sound healing?
Yeah, most people, in fact, when we've taken it to people, most people haven't seen it. So the people who typically come to our experience, they're not typical instruments. So, for example, I play an instrument called the Shruti box, which is traditionally used in Indian classical music to tune an orchestra. Quite a sort of harmonic type instrument.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a little wooden briefcase with white buttons on the front. Then we've also got our crystal didgeridoo player. So Julian, who's our other key artist, he plays. He's worked a lot with the Armand Land people here up in top north of Western Australia, and was given permission and blessing to take the didgeridoo around the world, which he has done as a healing tool. But he's then gone on to now create a didgeridoo that's made out of crystal quartz, and it's quite a unique instrument. So he's merged, the sound healing with the ancient traditional, 40,000-year-old healing instrument of the didgeridoo. And then Julian, so that's Julian And then January, who's our other key artist, plays the African gourd drum. And that's basically an African instrument that is like it says, it's a drum, but it's actually like it's a massive half seed. So if you can imagine, it sort of looks a little bit like a pregnant woman's belly. So kind of like this round, and you cut the seed in half, and then you play this round drum seed. So yeah, which makes a beautiful sound.
And how do you know when your performance is a success? Can you like visually see people relaxing? Hopefully not going to sleep or anything. We have no applause.
Yeah, we know it's a success when there is absolutely no applause, and that's typically what happens. People drop in so deeply to this experience, and what's interesting, it's not just sort of instrumental, it's actually musical and melodic. So the structure of the music is done in a way where it's still something you could enjoy listening to, verse, chorus, and then it's sort of got, it's structured in the way that we would typically listen to music. And then it's intertwined with all these ancient sounds and the orchestral lines that come in through all of that. So it's quite, musically entertaining, but it's also very relaxing. People get quite surprised by how they feel when they come out of it. But often the best result that we have, and it happens every concert, is that there is absolute silence at the very end, and people just need time to come out of it.
All right. Well, by that rationale, by that metric, I've been an incredibly successful radio broadcaster, so that's good to know. Do you have some go-to songs that you like to listen to when you need to switch off and relax?
Yeah, I do. I mean, for me, it's quite interesting to switch off and relax. For me, is the opposite. So I go and cultivate silence. It's because I surround myself with so much sound. I find a lot of I like the space between the notes. So I take some space between the notes and enjoy that time of silence.
Oh, good answer. And what do you want to listen to if you want to really psych up?
Gosh.
I'm trying to lay this trap for you, or are you eventually going to say, I just listen to Slayer?
No, not quite. But if I was really going to get, one of my favorite old time songs is, because I've got quite a large array of musical taste. Not Slayer, but I would go for something like Footloose.
Oh, there we go. Cool. En Coda Symphony Orchestra is happening at the Art Gallery of New South Wales at 6 p.m. on the 22nd of October. En Coda is not like encode decode. It's ENCODA, so coda is in the end of a song. encodamusic.com. But I've confused that issue, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link for that along with our chat on the 2SER website. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today on 2SER Breakfast.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Thank you, Dan.